All right, guys. Welcome to Flipped Homework in Miss Hargrove's apartment. Having to finagle some stuff and try some new things, and we're just gonna go with it. All right, so we're gonna talk about money this week in math, and you may have already taken a little sneak peek at some things in Seesaw and tried some things, and you guys already know a lot about money. So this is really just a review for you, and then just making sure that we know how to write money correctly, all that good stuff. All right, so today we're just gonna talk about pennies, nickels, and dimes. All right, so our first guide that we're gonna look at is the penny. All right, so the penny has Abraham Lincoln on it, and it looks like this. You can see, I can't make it, there we go. You can see Abraham Lincoln's face on one side with a profile, like meaning like from the side of his face, and then on the back, on some pennies, you may see this, and on some pennies, you may see this. It just kind of depends on when the penny was made, okay? So, first thing we're gonna do is draw our coin. And the way that we're not gonna spend time drawing Abraham Lincoln. We don't need to be doing all that, right? So, first guy that we're gonna talk about is the penny. Let's write penny right here. Penny. All right, and we're gonna draw a circle and put a P in the middle. That stands for penny, okay? As you might remember, a penny is worth how much? Guess what? If you forget, it even says it on the penny. Can you see that right there? 1 cent. It's worth 1 cent. So we're gonna say it's worth 1 and then a cent sign. So whenever we use a cent sign, we always put it after the number of the amount of cents that we're talking about. All right, another way that we could write this is with a dollar sign. Okay, we could write it dollar sign, and then we could say 0.01. This is a decimal right here. So what this means is I have $0, I have 0 in the tens place of my cents, and then a 1 in the ones place of my cents. We're not gonna worry about all the decimal place value right now. All we really need to know is that this means 1 cent, okay? So our next coin we're gonna look at is a nickel, okay? A nickel on one side, you may see this or this, depending on when the coin was made. You can see how those are kind of different. And then on the back, you'll see this no matter which kind of nickel it is. All right, so that's what it looks like. It's also silver. Penny is the only one that's copper. So let's come down here and we'll say nickel. Nickel. How do you think we're gonna draw a nickel? A circle with an N in it, and we're gonna use capital letters just to make things easier for ourselves. A nickel is worth how much? How much is a nickel worth? Well, if you get confused, I know this is like really hard to see, but I bet you can see it says what? What does it say down there? 5 cents. Nickel's worth 5 cents, so I can either write 5 with a cent symbol behind it, or I can write it with a dollar sign as $0, 0 in the tens place of my cents, and 5 in the ones place of my number of cents. So this is kind of like saying 5 cents, 1 cent, with nothing in the tens place, okay? So there's my nickel. Last little guy we're talking about today is the dime, okay? This is what it looks like on one side of a dime. A dime is also silver, but it's much smaller than a nickel. It's actually the smallest coin. If I put all of these coins together, you can see the dime is the smallest. It's just a little bit smaller than the penny, but it's definitely smaller than the nickel. And the penny is also smaller than the nickel. Okay, so a dime on one side looks like this. On the other side looks like this, all right? And if you, actually, guess what? This just says 1 dime on it. It doesn't say how much it's worth, but we know it's worth 10 cents. So that's what we're gonna write on our paper. So we're gonna say dime, and we're gonna say it with a cent symbol. Remember, a cent symbol goes behind or after our number. So we're gonna write 10 cents, or I can write it with a dollar sign as $0.10. Okay, do you see how this is different from these two? These two, I didn't have any tens, right? So 5 doesn't have any. If I was just talking about just the number 5, not even talking about money, I would know that 5 is just a number in the ones place. I don't have any tens with it, okay? But I know that 10, now I have 1, 10, and 0 ones, right? So that's what we're showing right here with our dollar sign. Oh, and Miss Hargrove, we forgot to draw it appropriately. A circle with a D in it, capital D. All right? Pennies, nickels, and dimes. Head over to the next video.